Welcome to the channel. Here, we provide clear, actionable insights into the complex world of tax and accounting to help your business thrive.
All right, let's talk about something that can be pretty stressful for just about everyone: taxes. If you're feeling a little anxious just thinking about it, you are definitely not alone. But here's the good news: the IRS actually has programs designed to help. And in this explainer, we're going to break them all down. This is the million-dollar question, isn't it? What tax relief am I eligible for? It can feel like a huge, complicated puzzle, but our goal here today is to give you the pieces. We're going to walk through the different kinds of relief the IRS offers so you can get a much clearer picture of what might actually work for you. So first things first, what do we even mean when we say tax relief? It's not some secret loophole or a single magic wand you can wave. It's much better to think of it as a whole toolkit of different options that the IRS makes available. So let's open up that toolkit and see what's inside. At its heart, tax relief is really just a catch-all term for a bunch of official IRS programs. Some of them are there to help lower the tax bill you're working on right now, while others are designed to help you handle tax debt you might already have. The bottom line for all of them? Making your tax burden more manageable. And I think this quote from CPA Josh Katz is so important because of that one word right in the middle: legitimate. These are not shady workarounds. We're talking about established, official strategies that are literally built into the tax system for anyone who qualifies. Okay, let's dive into the proactive stuff first. How can you actually lower the amount of money you owe before you even file your return? Well, this section is all about the two most powerful tools in your toolkit for doing exactly that: tax credits and tax deductions. Now, this is one of the most important things to get straight, and this analogy just nails it. Think of a deduction like a coupon you use at the grocery store. It lowers your total before the tax is calculated. But a credit is like a gift card. It's a dollar-for-dollar reduction of the final bill you have to pay, which makes it way more powerful. And speaking of powerful credits, just take a look at some of the heavy hitters for 2025. You've got the Earned Income Tax Credit for working families, the Child Tax Credit if you have kids, and the American Opportunity Tax Credit for college costs. And as you can see, we're talking about amounts that can make a massive difference to your bottom line. And just to put that into perspective, look at this number: over $8,000. For a family that qualifies, the Earned Income Tax Credit isn't just a little break. I mean, come on, that's a game changer. That kind of money can completely change a family's financial situation for the entire year. But not all credits are created equal. A non-refundable credit is awesome. It can take your tax bill all the way down to zero. But a refundable credit? That's the holy grail. Because if that credit is worth more than the tax you owe, the IRS literally sends you the rest of the money back as a refund. That is why they are so incredibly valuable. Okay, so now let's pivot to that other tool for lowering your bill: deductions. Now, some people itemize every little expense, but honestly, most taxpayers just take what's called the standard deduction. And you can see the amounts for 2025 right here. It's just a simple, super straightforward way to lower your taxable income without the headache of tracking every single receipt. So that's all about being proactive. But what happens if the tax bill is already here and you're staring at a number you just can't pay? Well, the IRS has programs for that exact situation too. Let's look at the reactive solutions for managing taxes you already owe. You've basically got three main options in this scenario. First is penalty relief, which can get those extra fees waived, especially if it's your first time or something crazy happened. Second, you've got payment plans, which let you chip away at a big debt with manageable monthly payments. And third is something called an offer in compromise, or OIC, which is for people in really serious financial trouble to settle their debt for less than what they owe. By far, the most common option here is a payment plan, and this slide shows you how it generally works. If you owe less than $100,000 in total, you can usually get a short-term plan. If it's under $50,000, you can often apply for a long-term plan that spreads it out. This can take a really scary bill and make it feel much more achievable. Okay, so at this point, you're probably thinking, this all sounds great, but how do I know if I actually qualify for any of it? Well, it's not random. The IRS looks at a pretty specific set of factors to figure out who gets relief and what kind is the best fit. Yeah, it's definitely not a one-size-fits-all answer. Your eligibility really depends on your whole financial picture. Things like your income and filing status are huge for credits. For payment plans, they're going to want to see evidence of financial hardship. And believe it or not, your history matters. A good track record of filing on time really does help. It's all very specific to your personal situation. Now, this can all feel like a lot to handle by yourself, and sometimes it is.
So let's talk about something really important. When it's time to call in a professional, and, just as crucial, how to spot and avoid the scams that prey on people who are just looking for help. So when is it time to raise your hand and ask for help? This quote from Josh Katz lays out some really clear signals. If you're getting scary collection notices, if you have years of unfiled returns, or if you owe a big chunk of money, like over $10,000, it is probably time to talk to a pro. And on the flip side, here is a massive red flag to watch out for. Be extremely skeptical of anyone who makes huge promises. No legitimate tax professional can guarantee they'll make your debt disappear. If a company promises you the moon or demands a giant fee before they even look at your case, you should run the other way. So, what can you do right now to get started? Here are 3 clear, simple next steps. First, go straight to the source. IRS.gov has tons of free guides and tools. Second, read any mail you get from the IRS really carefully. It often tells you what your options are. And third, if you're feeling in over your head, talk to a real credentialed professional.
Whew, we have covered a lot. Everything from credits that can boost your refund to payment plans that can make debt manageable. Look, the tax system is complex, no doubt about it. But these relief programs exist for a reason. They're there to give you a path forward. The key is just knowing they exist and taking that very first step. So what's yours going to be?